Hold on, I had to restart it. There we go. We're good now.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Okay, I'm already live. I was like, what's happening? Hello, Sinot. How you doing? Thank you for the raid. Even you raid me even from other streams. It's incredible, dude, the power you have of raiding me every time. Hello, how you doing, guys? Welcome to the stream. What's up, everyone? Hello, Justin. How you doing? Justin is having construction done in his work, so in his house, so he might be not be super present. Okay.
Yeah,
hello,
thank
everybody.
you, Sinan, and thank you, Luca.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. I am Luca. I run Then, which is another Twitch stream that I do every day. Today, I'm here to hopefully be able to not really teach fully because I don't have too much time, but I'm gonna do my best in explaining how to achieve a nice comic booky style, very similar to the one that Hellboy has, or even maybe even more known nowadays in the culture we have, Darkest Dungeon. This is a model that I painted a long time ago, long time ago, and it took me, I think, 25 minutes, half an hour to paint. So it's a very quick style once you know what you're doing. I will do my best to try to replicate this kind of quality and style on this dude from Reaper. And yeah, I hope you guys will enjoy it. It's a very simple painting style, very simple painting style, because it basically simplifies all of the shadows. Now, when we paint minis, one of the difficulties of painting minis is what professional painter would call modulation, which is a very fancy word to say highlighting the volumes. You put lights on a volume on a model to suggest light hitting it over the color of the object, but then what do you do in shadow? You just slap a darker color? You can do that, but you can also do other fancy things. This specific style basically removes any problem from shadows because you just paint them black. So you work only on the midtones and highlights, removing all shadows, leaving them black, and creating a very harsh, stark line separating them, which makes the model cool because it looks like a comic book thingy. So yes, hello everybody, welcome. I'm just gonna get started, so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna wear my glasses too, if I can find it. Hello guys, hello. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Hello Mirko, good day. So, the way I do this, the way I usually do this, I keep the model brightly primed. In this case, I have not primed the model. I am following Reaper's instruction, and I'm not priming the model because they say it's not needed, and I trust Reaper. So I'm not priming this, and I'm just going for, I washed it with a bit of soap and water, and now I'm working on slapping down the shadows. Now, for shadows, this color is a bit too thin though. Let me quickly switch to thicker black. Yeah, they're looking to do this yearly, I heard. Like every year have a online con and a physical con. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be really cool. If you have any questions, you can of course ask anything you want. I'm more than happy to answer any of you guys' question. I will try to check out the chat as much as I can while I work on this. I do want to show you what I mean with this style, so I am trying to go as fast as I can. So as you can see, I am basically painting the model to have a very stark contrast in shadow. You can also do non-metallic with this kind of method, which is really cool. Because again, it looks like out of a comic book, straight up out of a comic book. It's a simple way to get yourself a high impact paint job. Maybe it's not high quality, but it's definitely high impact, which is cool. Is that pure black? Yes, it is. Just black. I'm gonna try to go as fast as I can, just so I don't end up having to finish before I can even show the effect happening a little bit. Hello Mini Wizard, how you doing? What is my favorite ice cold beverage after a long painting session? My only beverage, the only beverage of my choice is iced tea, which I have here next to me. I drink this stuff as if it was freaking, I don't know what it is. Like, I drink so much of it. I love iced tea. I drink 2.5 liters of it a day. Sweetened. Sweetened. Okay, so I'm just blocking all of the shadows. For now, I am blocking the strongest areas that I feel are gonna be dark shadows. And I can then work on blending, so to speak, this shadow into the what's gonna be the mid-tone later on. But for now, I just look into blocking. You can, of course, paint the model, base coat the model in a black, and then work applying the colors on top, ignoring the black shadows, but I think it's easier to understand both as a viewer and as a painter when you do this from white and then you take it down to black. Hello, Antio. Yeah, I know it's a lot of sugar. I don't drink or eat sweet stuff anyway very often. So I'm sort of counterbalancing it. Okay. You can see it doesn't look like much just yet. But as soon as we block in all of the blacks and we start highlighting with the midtones of the objects, it's gonna be having a completely different look. Of course, we don't have to maintain this black everywhere. If when we are painting the midtones, we find that we maybe have gone a bit overboard with our blacks, we can remove them easily. Hello, CS, how you doing? So this is all about the volumes right now. It's about interpreting the model in a very simplistic kind of way. Because I'm removing detail doing this, which means I have less stuff to paint, which is why it's such a fast way of painting. Because as you block in with pure black, you are pretty much removing details. Not by obscuring them with thick paint, but because the black is removing the shape of the model. So by doing this, you remove information. And by removing information, you remove work from your desk, which means you can get stuff done a lot quicker. I did have a blast, almost, was it a year ago now? I never really paint in this style, but I did paint in this style once, almost a year ago. And it was fun to do. So hopefully you'll like it too. One second, I'm gonna increase the volume of the music a little bit. Okay. Hello, mistress. How you doing? See, for example, here on the non-metallic, I can easily block in the non-metallic with a black. The very nice look of this way of painting happens a bit later in the paint job when you block in the midtones and you block in the highlights and then you blend them. Because it's really cool to look at a blended highlight, like a bunch of blended highlights over a non-blended shadow. Creates a lot of contrast, also in finish. For now we can just obscure all of this detail. This model is beautiful, by the way. I really like this guy. It's one of my favorite Reaper models, I think. Hello, Opti. How you doing? Yeah. This model is Dark Rasp, I think. I'm not very good with names. I think it's Dark Rasp. Like in areas like this with a lot of detail, you can just block in the black knowingly, because you know you're gonna be base coating over it anyway, so you don't have to worry about being too neat. You can always base coat on top with the actual color of the object. Dark Rasp. There you go. Yeah. Try my best to speed paint at the speed of light. No, I am not. No, I mean, I know what the Reaper is, but I'm not familiar with Blasphemous, the game. I am personally not a huge fan of isometric games, although one that I loved is I can't remember the name. One of the newest isometric games that they released. It's actually really cool. Very similar to the old Diablo games. Hello May, how you doing? Okay, just blocking in the colors. This style has a very powerful hot garbage phase, as you guys know. During a paint job, all models tend to look like hot garbage, especially in the very early stages. Some things more than others. For example, non-metallic metal is one of the things that looks the ugliest when you're starting it out on a project, and then it becomes better and better and better as you refine it. This specific style has that kind of effect as well. Looks terrible when you start it out, and then it progressively becomes nicer and nicer. Okay. Have you been painting long? Hello, Sean. Yes, man, I've been painting not very long, actually. But you know it is, don't you? Okay. Again, all is about just blocking in the shadows. I'm not worried about much. I just want the shadows to be black. That is it. If in doing this black coat I go over areas that I didn't want to be black, I'm not worrying. I will paint over them. It's not a problem. And I'm doing it here because for the sake of speed, I'm just kind of dumping the paint on the model rather than trying to be precise in the black lining and all of that stuff. But the effect is still gonna be pulled off. Hello Tobito, how you doing? Would this go faster with Genital Highlight? No, because the model is primed white. If you're going with a Genital, your shadows will be sort of blended in with the model, which means you will have to anyway go back and reinforce them, because like this effect works nicely because of the fact that the shadows are very sharp, very black, and they are not blended with the midtones. If you do a Genital, you're gonna have black shadows, yes, but the gradient between the black and the gray will be too clean. It won't be jagged, like a hard edge, as you want it on this style. Hello, Danny. What could work though, what would work actually, is a wash. You can have the model primed white, base coated white, however you want, or grey. In this case it's a light grey, it's not real white. you can give it a wash with a black before you work into the shadows, because the black wash will give you that definition in all of the little details. For example, the beard of this guy, or the little bones here in the weapon handle. You can just define them with a bit of a wash. Again, the effect we are going for is this one. So you now see a lot of shadows, which are going to be cleaned up and fixed, and then we're going to be having lights on top, and the lights are going to actually carry the paint job a lot. So for now, I'm just going to be doing this a little while. I think I'm going to be thin this paint into oblivion and just do the wash I mentioned. Hey, thank you Diablo for the sub, dude. Welcome in. Welcome in. How you doing? So, okay, I'm gonna thin this black, like a lot. You can see that again, I'm not particularly careful in my way of doing this. I just need the paint to be in the right place. If it ends up in the wrong spot, I don't care too much about it because I'm gonna go over it. But it's easier to be neater when painting something that is protruding from the model rather than something that is hiding in the model. So it's a lot better to just wash in these shadows in there, so I don't have to worry about them, and then clean up the model later. Okay. This is a really nice model, I like it so much. Hello Little, how you doing? Okay. By simply just blocking in all of the shadows, all of the little weathering marks in the sculpt, just with a little black. Okay, Sean, see you in a bit. Hello, Papa. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel more than free to ask. You also must be tired, though, aren't you? This ReaperCon thing has been lasting for so long, almost 24 hours a day, right? If I'm not mistaken. I mean, I do sleep sometimes, so I haven't been able to check up on it, but every waking moment I had, I saw Reaper live, so I assume it's 24 hours. Is that morning anymore for you? For me, it's afternoon. Yeah, just giving a bit of a hint of a non-metallic on that thing too. Trying to simplify the effect as much as I can to make it fast. Yeah. A good trick for this specific style is also to have the eyes completely black. Having the eyes, the complete eye socket, the eyebrows and everything in black makes the model look more more dark, more charismatic, and more moody, which is why I like this style so much, because it comes from a game that I love, which is Darkest Dungeon. And a big chunk of that effect is the black eyes. Yeah, I did do a very large trunks model once. Finishing blocking in the colors here. It's a matter of definition. So like, big brush strokes first, very, very wild brush strokes to just block in the colors. It's fun, it's really fun because it is a way to relax almost. And then, as you go forward, you try to clean up the brush stroke as much as you can. So big blotchy lines become more clean, more thin. The effect is already happening, at least for me it already is. I can already see this guy is gonna be part of a comic book. Now, it doesn't look very good just yet, but it will in a moment. Important to black line everywhere. So every detail that is separated from another one, you want to black line it. In doing so, you get yourself that definition that you are looking so desperately for. Yes, it is a very self-shaded kind of style. I can show you something cool, I think. Like on this guy, I took the effect a bit more harshly forward. And sorry. The intention was to have, since it's gonna be displayed in a very fixed position, I also painted the black lining around the fingers, and I think it's cool to see because you can see that the fingers look black lined like they would in the cartoon, but if you turn the model around, the black line all of a sudden makes no sense. And that's because I wanted knowingly, I know that this model is going to be looked at from this direction. I cheated a little bit and created an edge, even though there wasn't one, because it is a display piece, right? Like you can see the face. I think the effect is very neat. There is a bit of dust on the model, but you know, besides that, the effect is neat, I think. And you can take it however you want. You can either, if you don't blend the highlights, it will look very anime. So if you have dark shadows like blacks, and then you have other tones, well, it's not really that way. It's a bit different. So the style I'm going for is for a Mike Mignola style, which is volumes of shadow completely black, and then highlights that are blended. That trunks I showed you doesn't have volume of shadow that are completely black. The black is only to give edges to thing and small shadows. But mostly you do have shadows there, and everything is not blended though. So you either block in all of the colors and you don't blend them, or you do blend the highlights and you have this very strong shadow happening. They are both viable style. One is more of an anime style, while this one is more of a artist comic book kind of thing. Like, I find this to be more interesting, especially on smaller scales, because you do want to have some sort of blending happening, right? Do you think the brushes change the paint learning? Better brushes will not give you better painting. Brushes are very much like a Harry Potter wand. You don't... You need to deserve using it to an extent. Like, it's the one that chooses you, right? Same with the brushes. Like, you can be an amazing painter and do amazing job with a terrible brush, or you can be a terrible painter and do a terrible job with an amazing brush. Some techniques are better executed if you do have a good brush, that is true, but they don't enable you to achieve an effect. It's always the painter that makes the change. Brush is still a tool. The brush is still a tool. It is not something that empowers you in your painting, I don't believe. Now, that said, I do like painting with good brushes. So, like, even though I am making all of these arguments about brushes don't matter, I still paint with very good brushes because, you know, I would rather have a good time when I paint rather than a bad one. Fighting a brush that constantly loses the tip and stuff like that, it's not fun. Nobody likes doing that. Okay. I think our sketching is coming to an end. I'm a terrible painter doing a terrible job with terrible... No, you aren't. All of the stuff I see from you guys on Reaper's channels, on the Discord and stuff, it looks good, man. Everybody's working so hard on their painting and getting their models to look nice. And, I mean, as a painter myself, I'm so happy to see all of this sharing of works, you know? And it's all about mindset too, like, not everybody cares about producing insane quality paint jobs, right? Like, it's something that I say all the time when people talk about painting, is that you should never compare yourself to another painter, but rather your old self. In a sense that if you want to improve, all you have to do is do a better paint job than your previous one. You don't have to measure with any other people because they had a different life than you have, and also probably have different goals than you have, right? If you're painting minis to play a D&D game or to get them quickly on the table for whatever reason, you shouldn't probably compare that paint job with somebody that's done a box art for it, or you know, does it for a living for commissions. It's just completely different worlds. And they don't exclude each other in a sense that I am a professional painter and I work on commission, but that doesn't mean I don't appreciate the work that people put in the tabletop models. And it's something that I'm fighting against really, really hard in my own channel and in my own life, really. Like, I'm not a big fan of elitism if it's unwarranted or unneeded. You changed your Twitch channel? No, I'm just streaming from Reaper's channel for ReaperCon. I wonder how well Contrast Paint might get that look once you have finished blocking in shadows. They could help. I think they could help. I'm not gonna be using Contrast Paints, but it's worth a shot. You can try it out, I think. Okay. Now we go looking for the small details that I have missed. Like the small things, like for example, this chain here. Hello MG, how you doing? The important lesson is not to compare your work with Rubina. I don't either. Like, that's the fun thing. Like, I have done good paint jobs in the past. I can show you something I've done. I have done good paint jobs in the past, but I try my absolute best not to compare my work with my previous work as well. Like, I do compare it technically wise, but I can't compare the finish of a model over another one. Like, this model here works really nicely, also because of the colors chosen and the model shapes and etc, etc, etc. Like, if I do another paint job, it doesn't necessarily have to be like it, because it's a different model, different colors, different stuff, you know. It's all about that. Like, for example, this lady here, I don't think she is as good as the other one is. Like, this one isn't finished, but I don't think this model is as good as this one. But I believe I can attribute that more than to the painting, to the model itself, in a sense that this one on the left uses the saturated color, doesn't have any strong reds like she has, or strong yellows that she has. So, you know, it's a completely different thing. I can't really compare those. It's important to enjoy the process every single time and just move on. Thank you, Achilles. Alright, so I think we're ready to move to some color, at least block in stuff, and see how it goes from there. Just gonna quickly get... I'm using a Vortex Mixer. If you're hearing sounds, I swear I'm not farting. It's a Vortex Mixer. Alright, so I don't know. I want the cape to be purple, so let's make it purple. My desk is a mess. Alright, let's make the cape purple, just for the sake of it, right? I don't want it to be this bright, so I'm gonna make it a little bit darker. This purple is a bit too baby purple. He's a necromancer, right? So, and now we just block in the color, avoiding our shadows, and see what that takes us. As we do this, we are definitely going to find areas where we have not shaded, which means we can easily go back to them and fix the shading, the mist shading, later. What is important is that our shadow meets the highlight, so like the black meets the purple in this case, in a clean way. We don't want the line to be jagged, okay? We want the line to be a neat, clean line. When that's done, we're good. Hello, Kiro. Love you too, man. How you doing? God, I love this model, dude. So good. Like, I would like to paint this model to a competition standard. Is there any difference done with metallic surfaces? Well, okay, so this style doesn't work too well when using true metallics. That's the only, that is literally the only downside of painting this way, is that you have to have a basic knowledge of non-metallic metal to make the metals look non-metallic. Because doing them, and you can speed paint non-metallic, you don't have to make it like an impressive non-metallic either. Because with true metallics, the glossiness and the shininess of the metallic will kind of fight the effect a little bit, making it not exactly as good. Yeah, you can see that I am blocking in this color, avoiding the shadows, making sure that I block in the color in a way that has a straight line to it, so that the shadows meet the color in a nice clean line, rather than a painted line, so to speak. The effect requires it's a bit of a weird effect to paint, because it requires a lot of precision in very small moments. Like, you don't have to be neat as a painter, you don't have to be great at painting either. but you do need some precision at some points, which means reproducing something like this will take you some time or not, depending on how you are in your journey as a painter. But it is definitely a fun way to practice neatness without having too much fear of failure, you know, because you can always clean things up later. Again, this is a little bit of a back and forth, in a sense that now that I'm painting this purple, I can see areas that I should have painted black. So after base coating it, I can go back to the black and reinforce it. We can do the cape of another color. How does practicing painting teach empathy? What do you mean? I mean, it teaches empathy because when you see somebody's work on a model and you are not a painter yourself, it's very common to assume that you could do it if you wanted. Like, as a commission painter, I've heard this phrase a million times. People will tell you, you know, I am not willing to pay you as much as you're asking me, because if I had the time, I would paint like you do. Which is a lie, by the way. But if you do get into mini painting, you learn empathy because you learn the struggles of the people that preceded you. And that gives you a bit of a insight of how much they must have practiced or studied or even suffered in some cases to get where they are. And that's very important, I believe. It's super important to learn that, because it's very easy to get fooled by an experienced painter. They don't want to fool you, but you fool yourself to an extent, because you're like, oh, that looks so easy, like you make it look so easy, and then when you try it out and it's not as easy, you get super sad and you feel bad. But like, the truth is that it's easy for them because they spent an ungodly amount of hours practicing, right? And due to that, they made it easy because they found a way to make it easy out of their own mind and out of their own practice. So that's a way to be empathic, I guess. Painting can teach you a million of things. Exactly, cool. That's also another thing. Hello, Nico. But again, I believe that it's important to be honest with oneself and decide what kind of work you want to do. I see way too many people who paint as a very small time hobby because they have like half an hour to dedicate it to a day. Feel bad because they don't paint like others that have been doing it for a living for 20 years. It's important to establish what you want to achieve in your painting. Don't feel bad when you see other people work. Get inspired from it. Don't feel bad though. Yeah, still blocking in my purple. You can see that the black shadows are kind of merging with the purple now. You don't see them as starkly as you did when they were on the white, and that's part of the effect. Hey, thank you, Miss Mess. Art should bring people together, not tear them apart. That is so true, dude. So true. Lord Baya. I could spend every hour every day and still not be better than the best. Not be better than best. But that's cool, because that's not my goal. Exactly. Exactly, dude. Like, if there is something to take away from my own experience as a painter, like I have learned a lot of things, and I hope and try to teach as many as I can, one way or the other. But if there is only one thing to get from everything I've done, is that I never really tried to challenge other people's paint jobs when painting my own stuff. I did look up to other painters for inspiration, and you know, I am a fan of a lot of painters, but I never really put myself against them. I just simply painted for the sake of being better than the previous paint job. And like, this is one of my first paint jobs that I've done around 2 years ago. When I started out, I painted this guy, was one of my first paint jobs ever. And then like, just simply by trying to one-upping my previous paint jobs, a few weeks ago, I painted him again. But I would say a lot better. But it's just simply because I've just wanted to one-up myself, not really anybody else. I don't do that, Mistress. That's not my first mini. That is not my first mini. It's one of my first minis. What miniature is this? This is Dark Rasp from Reaper Models. Seven-year-old me wouldn't ever think I could paint as well as I do today, so I'm always happy with my work. That's a good thing to be. That is a great thing to be. Alright. Okay, so we got some of our purple blocked in. I'm gonna be working on the cape because I don't know how much time I have to get this guy done. I don't think I will be able to finish him, but hopefully I'm able to show you the purples. And that's gonna be enough to give you an idea of the effect. The finished effect I already showed you is the other guy with the gun. Hello, Painting Big. Hello, and how you doing? Lucas stealing my stream. What? I didn't know about that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I asked if they needed help, and if they had a slot. Okay, just working on refining the black shadows that I have lost or I have not painted previously. Just pushing the effect a bit more. Now that we have a purple base coat, I can see things a little bit clearly. But it did help not having the purple before. It's not primed. Reaper bones don't have to be primed. You can just wash them with a bit of soap and they will accept paint. The paint will be slightly more... So because of the surface that you have on the model, that is unprimed, I mean the plastic is primed, but they have not sprayed the model after making it. It means that the surface of the model is very smooth. And because of that, the paint tends to run a bit more than it does when you prime. This is like, and again, I know I'm chipping in on a difficult subject. There is a lot of arguing about should I prime or not. My final resolution on this topic, if anybody cares about it, is that if you prime a Reaper model, like a Reaper bone, what you will get is a more is a surface that is a bit more granular because of the primer you put on top, which means the paint will stop where you place it a lot more easily. Because of the roughness, I mean, and by roughness I mean micromolecular roughness. You can't see it when you prime a model. It will look smooth anyway. But the primer will generate a bit of a texture on which the paint you put on top will grip on and stay in place. When you don't prime it, paint will stick to the model, but it will stick to the model in a bit more of a runny kind of way. So paint will tend to run a little bit more from your brush onto the model and around it. Which is fine, just a matter of choice. That is my final definition of the difference between the two things. Okay. Again, cleaning up as much as I can. Okay. Again, expanding the volumes of shadows. Now that I have an idea of what my midtone is, how it's placed, I can do things a bit more cleanly. Hello Valendar, how you doing, dude?
Just hold on. We can make this last a while, but you keep acting like so we can do this one more time. Then
Okay.
I'm not gonna do this anymore. Cry on my shoulder and make me feel like I'm the one. So go and cry on my shoulder so you can find someone but me to hold you. Let's just say our last goodbye. For now you can lay down for a while and cry on my shoulder so you can find.
I'm trying to think of a way to make these effects look cool as quickly as I can, so you can at least understand how it works like, and then you can practice it on your own, because I don't want to leave you with an unfinished effect, which is not gonna give you like satisfaction. So I'm really working out on thinking how can I allot my time in a way that gives you what I want to give you. But for now it's just a matter of removing all of the white. It's important to get rid of the white when it's not necessary, because if you leave it in areas where it shouldn't be there, the effect is broken. So it is important to spend a few minutes just cleaning up all of the little white dots that you might have missed from the model, and blackline everything and clean up everything. But again, you can do it with a very thin paint and just move the brush around, and the paint will find the recess for you. If you want to have an easier time, you can use a wash. Sorry, that's my phone. You can use a wash, because of the properties of washes, they will flow into the recesses a lot more easily than a normal acrylic would. Give us satisfaction. Yes, I will. If a barista wore an N95 mask, would that make a coffee filter? Oh my god. Okay. We kinda good here. So let's give some lights to this guy. MG isn't here. No, he was here. Hello, Gallo. Reaper then. Just slapping random colors, really. Colors don't matter too much. What matters is the result. This color is also terrible, by the way. Gotta shake it a bit more. I'm not using Reaper for this light. Actually, I have a Reaper light, but I'm gonna use that one, which is way better than this terrible color I was using. My perfection itself would beg me to file the mini. What do you mean, filing the mini? Yeah, let's use the power of Reaper to highlight. Yeah. So now, these highlights, we actually do want to blend. We have not blended anything so far. We do want to blend this one, where possible. Of course, where the model doesn't allow us to blend because of strong ridges and stuff like that, we're just not gonna. But on other things, like, for example, this area here, we're going to attempt to blend it. Yeah, and this Reaper light blue is actually really good. Okay. Highlighting. As I am highlighting, I'm quickly blending, so I don't have to worry too much about blending because the paint is blending itself. Because I'm placing it with a particular thinning and a particular motion that makes me have a blend without having to worry about it. I am currently, if you're interested in what technique I'm using to blend, it's called feathering. I'm currently feathering the highlights in, so I don't have to worry later about blending them. Okay. Okay. Blocking in the lights wherever I feel like there should be one, which is usually the ridges and the most protruded areas. Okay. We can highlight again. Let me get some bright color, some whitish color. I'm gonna be using blonde highlight, it's fine. We can do one last highlight. Again, blending this one as well into the previous ones. Okay. Okay. I don't think the model looks very great right now, because of all the whites and blacks around it. But I think that if you focus only on the cape and just look at the purples and ignore everything else around it, you can see the effect coming to life a little bit. Again, as I said, the hot garbage stage of this particular style of painting is very prominent and lasts almost until the end of the paint job, much like a non-metallic would. Hey, thank you, Scabba. Thank you for the sub, dude. I have no idea what you're saying, Ty. I'm sorry. I live my life in that stage. It's fine, dude. Okay. Okay. Okay, we got our cloth done. Let's move on to something else. I don't know. Let's do the silvers. Why not? Just for the sake of removing noise from the center mass of the model. I feel like a lot of times my starting point look like that and then they evolve. Seeing a professional painter have a bit of that at the start and knowing it will turn awesome makes me feel like I'm not wrong. No man, it is never wrong to have a model that doesn't look very good when you start out. Never. Like this guy and the people from my stream who have watched my stream know it. This guy looked terrible when I started the paint job. And then a couple of hours later, it kind of started looking more and more like this. Like, it's just how it is. Just how it is. Hello, hellos. So I am leaving the black here on the non-metallic silver. I am leaving it as a black line. And in the recesses. I'm just trying to remove noise from the center of the mass so you can see the model look better. I don't think I'll be able to finish the model, but if I can get the cape and the face painted, at least in this stage, kind of ignoring the back view, so to speak, because we don't really need that. I just want to demonstrate the technique to you guys. I don't want to finish the model. I don't need to. But I do want to have you, happy with the paint job that I've done here, so I'm going to focus on the front of the model for now. And if we do manage to finish it in time, I'm going to be working on the back a bit more. You see, so I base coated the gray. Hello, Rumble. I need to go find the start of that because I came in during the freehand. Yeah, the start, man, didn't look very good. Didn't look very good. The cape was terrible when I started. But I changed my mind. And that's also something that I would like to, if possible, let you guys know about. Is that you can change your mind when you're painting a model. Nobody is forcing you not to. A bit too many people perceive the change of plans like a defeat. They're like, okay, so I'm gonna paint this model, I'm gonna use this blue, this red, this purple, this color here, this black. And then, like, if it doesn't work out and you're like, maybe I should do this. Yeah, maybe you should. There is no problem in doing that. Don't feel like you're losing or you're defeated if you change your mind. I change my mind 20 times a paint job. Every model I paint, I change my mind at least 7 times. Hello, Ordista. How you doing, man? Okay, so we got the chains base coated. Now we can highlight them. The black is giving us an immense amount of contrast, which makes the non-metallic very easy to pull off right now. Because all we have to do is just keep adding light. Speed. Oh, my first Kolinsky brush. Now thinking if I should try it or go to... Wait, you never used Kolinsky? That is incredible, dude. God, I love Reaper paints. Reaper paints are so fun to use, man. They're so creamy, so smooth. They blend on their own pretty much. It's so good to use these paints. So really good. Pushing through the ugly phase is something that has to be learned through experience, I think. Yes. Yes. A great painter, a great painter, I asked once for feedback, told me something that stuck to me. And it is, I think you know what you should be doing with your painting, but you don't give yourself enough time to do it. And you stop before you're able to achieve that point because you don't like how the model is looking and you just don't feel like keep going because you feel like you're not gonna get there. And that is really true. Very, very true. Yeah, I love the man. I wish there was a bit of a thicker range out there. Like same colors, just thicker paint. But man, when you use them to block in highlights like this in a very quick way, they do smoothly blend into each other. It's so nice. So you can see that as I am painting this non-metallic, I'm trying to direct you towards the top of the model. So I'm not applying these lights everywhere. I'm applying them in specific areas to push the focal point. Alright, so now that we did this, I don't know, what do you guys think about the beard? While I'm smoothing out the blends here. What color do you think the beard should be? White. Grey. I love you too, Plana. Ginger. Well, keep thinking about it, okay? I'm gonna be doing the parchment right now. Between the colors I have, is there... Yes, this one works. Brown sand from Reaper, let's go. Sorry if you can't see the palette. I'm all over the place with the paints, but let me see if I can. Okay. We'd have to change up the chemistry to get a thicker base. Maybe someday we can find something that fits that. If we were to try doing a high coverage line again, I would be very happy with a high coverage line again. I mean, you and I can talk as much as you want, Anne, if you want to. You know me. I'm always open to discussion. There are things I would like to talk about with you on the topic. Wait, I have to shake this paint a lot more. I haven't used it in a while. Well, where have I put it? Okay, see. Ah, right, that's true. I usually stop around 80-90% because I get sick of working on the same model. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you feel like you're not happy with having not a fully completed model, Sarducci, what you should be doing probably is put the model on a break, paint something else. When you get tired of that, go back to the first model, finish it, and then go back to the other one. Hello, Creepy. Yeah, dude, I'm doing well. How you doing? I wonder why. What do you mean? Okay, locking in our parchment. I'm gonna remove some of these shadows that I had, because I feel like they were a bit too much in the way. What time is it? How much time do I have? I don't think I have much time left, do I? Ooh, have fun, Sarushi. Have fun and good luck. Half an hour, okay. I don't think I can get this guy done in half an hour. But hopefully, if you have questions about this way of painting, you should probably ask them now. So I can maybe try to give you a bit of an idea, a better idea. I think the purple cloth gives you the idea already. Like, you can see it. It's well painted. It looks nice. It took me like 20 minutes to paint, really. and it looks very defined, I believe. So it's a quick way to get definition out of your models and a nice, good look out of them. But if any of you has questions, feel free to ask, so I am more than happy to answer them.
Want to let you know, Luca, 15 more minutes.
Okay. So I should probably close this down. He can't have more time? No, man. My time is up. It's over. Game over, man. It's game over. It is fine though. Like we can take this back because there were plans, and I think it was greenlit. I am going to be streaming for Reaper on a show, so we can take this back from where we left it next time I do find myself live on this channel, and we can finish the effect fully. I guess this one was just more of a tease. But again, the effect, once finished, once this effect is finished, will look something like this. You can see that we have strong definition in the shadows, lots of black on the model. If you look at it from the bottom, you see mostly black, right? Lots of black, and then mid-tones and highlights that are well blended together. That's the objective. The most difficult thing is figuring out where the black goes versus where it doesn't go. But once you do have that sorted out, you are Gucci. And you can see that how easy it is to blend these amazing colors. Maybe do the side in 15 minutes? I don't think I can. Okay. I can try to speed paint the side at the speed of BBD, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Sorry, it was my computer. I have no idea how to disable this sound. was a bit too bright with my mid-tone here. Is it important to have highlights next to shadow in non-metallic? Yes, it is paramount, really. The whole effect of non-metallic is achieved through high contrast between shadow and light, and whenever you can pull off that contrast on a very close environment, you push the effect even more. Edge highlights and... you can see that, now it's looking metallic already. Edge highlights and high contrast between shadows and highlights is what makes a metallic ametallic. Once you do master that, you can make stuff look metallic in seconds, like I'm doing here. Like this side will need some refinement, of course. But you can see that I'm very easily making it look metallic with almost no effort, like literally no effort. If anybody... I was about to sell out and talk about my Patreon, but... if you want to check it out, it's up here somewhere, here. You can check out my social medias and my Patreons if you want, where I do teach in depth. And I don't have a very short time frame to be able to explain things. Also, I have a favor to ask you guys. And this is a bit of an important thing for me personally, and it doesn't cost money to anybody, really. I am very, very close to getting to 10,000 followers on Instagram, which is a massive achievement. And I wonder if you guys could help me out by dropping a follow there. It is free. If you have an IG, it's free. And it does really help me out a lot. You can also see all of my paintings I've done in the past, you know, if you're interested on those. That really would help me out quite a lot. Thank you. Can I share a link to AG? I don't know. Try, see if the thing bans you. I don't know if Reaper has a bot that blocks links or not. Thank you, Anne. Thank you so much. I'll follow you back as soon as I'm done here. Okay. And I repeat it one last time. Blocking the shadows with a pure black. Don't blend that pure black with any other color. Hey, thank you, little. Don't black that color. And take care, bye. Don't blend that color with any other color. Keep the black there as a strong shadow. And then blend the colors above it. So the midtones and the highlights, you want to blend those. You don't need to blend the shadow. If you do that, if you keep the pure black where it's supposed to be, and you push the highlights in a blended way, you can make stuff look nice super, super quickly. I hope you can see that this cape is looking really good. Like for a purple cloth, I think it's looking pretty nice. We got the chains done in seconds, really, as well as the parchment. the non-metallic side will take a little bit more time because it is a very interesting volume which takes time to elaborate on. But it is not a very complicated one. It's just a matter of blending really quickly. Something like this.
Also,
really.
to remind people, here in the next couple of weeks, very soon, we will have a dedicated Luca show where
Yeah.
we might be able to see this thing completed, right?
Yeah, I was talking about this earlier. If people want to, I can definitely finish this guy on stream with a bit of more of a leisure kind of effect, so I can clean it up and make it look a bit better. If the guys from Reaper are interested in that, I would be more than happy to. Again, like, my show has no real direction, in a sense that the whole point of the show is so I can talk about painting and answer questions and try to be philosophical about it, which is what I am really when I paint minis. So I can achieve that with any painting. I can show you, I can paint like this, quick tabletop, high effect paint jobs with you guys. I can show you like this, like difficult, time consuming and highly effective paint jobs with free hands and stuff. I can do whatever you want. I don't really have any plan. But yeah, you can see that this side is looking metallic. I'm not highlighting it too much because unfortunately it's facing the ground, so it shouldn't be reflecting too much light. But I still pulled some lights in there. And yeah, we did it. If you want to, next time I'm on the show, I'm gonna be doing my best to paint in this and finish this guy with you boys. I can, I don't know. I'm gonna keep going until Justin tells me to stop.
Yeah, you got about 5 minutes.
Oh. I can try to make this look metallic using the same colors I used for the parchment, just to show you how amazing painting can be if you push the contrast in the right way. So like, I'm using the same base coat I used for the parchment there. I'm just modifying the value of colors to push the contrast even higher. And hopefully this will look metallic too. Like, it's the same color, just way brighter, all of a sudden looks like a metallic object. Hello, Rex. What time slot? I am not sure. Are those rooms on the parchment? If so, those just scream glowing OSL. Well, maybe I'll do some OSL during our shows. There we go. I'm liking it. I don't like the color in a sense that I don't think the color should be there, but I would make it more of a... I don't know, like bronze fine. It's fine actually. That looks like bronze now, but how? It's a secret. Christmas is inching closer. My friends are all getting Reaper starter kits. Right, so yeah. I don't think
beautiful.
I get it. Like, I can give you guys a close-up so you can see that it's not the cleanest thing on the planet, but if you don't pay attention to what's not painted and you just look at the cape, you can see the effect happening, right? Strong dark shadows that frame a nicely blended and smooth cape that makes it look, you know, nice, comic booky. Again, if I were to finish this guy, it would look like this. Like same quality level of these dude. Maybe even better, because I did paint this guy like a year ago, so I would pull off something a little bit better, but yeah. Quick comic book style that I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll practice it too. I want to actually see what you guys come up with. So if any of you ends up trying this out, show me pictures, post them in the Reaper Discord and tag me there in my own Discord if you are in it. Whatever you want. I'll be happy to see what you guys come up with. So yes, I think we're done for today. I am. I'm looking forward to meeting all of you guys again and have Justin in voice chat next time with a lot more hours of sleep on his back. I'm so sorry for you, Justin. You must be working so hard, man.
Yeah, I do fantasize about my bed every now and then. And sleeping 12 straight hours, that might be nice.
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool.
But yes, thank you everyone for coming out, because honestly, really all of this is made worth it. Also ignore the construction noise, I'm sorry. But all of this is made worth with all of you coming out to watch all of this stuff. And it's yeah, it was a lot of work to put in the last couple of months, and I'm glad that people showed up. I mean, because it would have been kind of awkward if no one watched, but we probably still would have done it.
It was a huge success, wasn't it? Like, I
think so, yeah.
Went amazingly well. I'm so proud of you guys. You did so well, and you deserve it. You spearheaded company painting on Twitch. Companies don't do that. I mean, they didn't do it very much before you guys started, and now companies are interested in people streaming as well. Like, for example, almost because of you guys, other companies have sponsored my stream to stream for them every once in a while, which is amazing to me. But it's also because your presence here showed others that what you can do, and you did great, both with the stream and ReaperCon, setting it up in such a such a quick time, because you had COVID happened almost abruptly, right? So having to set up everything in the span of a night almost, and then you still pulled off something really cool. It's really nice. It is really nice.
Yeah, it's been worth it for sure. And thank you, Josh. That's great. But
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know how the effect would look on a 75mm, honestly. Very, very cartoony. Would it be even more cartoony than on this guy, I think. Because the small size of this guy makes the black less noticeable. If you make it on a 75, it will be incredibly cartoony. Again, I did it. I don't know if you saw it, Anne, but I did. I mean, this is a more than 75mm. This is a dusty miniature. This is a, I don't know, 120mm mini. It works.
Yes, this piece is why I asked you to do this effect for the show.
Yeah,
I love this piece. Love it.
Yeah, it works nicely on bigger minis. But I think the mini also makes the paint job, in a sense that it has to be a mini that would look like it belongs with this painting on top of it. So it has to be an action figure from an anime, like Trunks from Dragon Ball. I don't think painting it on your average 75mm of knights and barbarians would look good. I don't know though. There's a few minis that if painted in this style, they would look very borderlandy, so that would be cool. Exactly, Sheng. That's what I'm planning to do. I mean, this model is Darkest Dungeon, right? This is Dismas from Darkest Dungeon. I did get this model off of Etsy. It was gifted to me. So yeah, you know, like, that's exactly where the style comes from. I copied it from Darkest Dungeon. But yeah, I think we're done for today. I don't know. Should I go offline?
Yeah,
yes. Okay.
Yeah, we're great. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Stick around here in about 12 minutes. We'll have Dan Holmes's airbrush class. So
Enjoy the
Learn a little
airbrushing,
bit about
guys.
some airbrush. It'll be great. Thanks, guys.
Bye bye, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. See you later.
See you in a few minutes, guys.